Hello everyone, welcome back to Trek Today. I just finished watching Strange New Worlds Season 3, Episode 7, What is Starfleet? In which we see a rather interesting concept for a mission through the lens of a documentary filmed by Ortegas' younger brother, Beto Ortegas, who we've seen a couple times filming things. We get to take a look at the documentary that he has crafted, looking at the question of what is Starfleet? And I actually had high hopes for this one because the idea of doing a documentary looking into a situation or the characters within a show and asking some really difficult questions has been done before and done before beautifully. Babylon 5 did a really good job, especially with the angle that we're going to talk about here. Very similar in that regard. The real pinnacle that I feel like most people would measure this concept within a TV show to would be MASH. MASH is kind of like the gold standard for that. They've done that brilliantly. And here I was hoping for something more akin to like the Babylon 5 interpretation of this idea. It's something that really could have worked if done well. But sadly, this was terrible. This was remarkably disappointing. I was honestly shocked. Everything from the filming of the documentary, they really didn't get the feeling down right. It felt more like a mockumentary, something like The Office, the style of the telling, and it was just bizarre. The whole thing, this biased documentarian bent on portraying the Federation in a negative light, but then possibly over the course of the journey discovering the benevolence and the curiosity and the positive impacts of Starfleet while still intelligently examining these necessary gray zones that reality forces upon us. That's what I wanted to see, and I thought that's why this idea excited me, because I thought that could have been a real fascinating venture into the exploration of the heart of this franchise that we hold so dear. It could have been great, but instead it's this disingenuous, awkwardly, and honestly sometimes distractingly filmed documentary that fails to give any kind of in-depth look or truthful examination of any of the characters that it could have done. It fails to answer the very question that's at its premise in any meaningful way, all while showing the documentarian as this unempathetic, ignorant, and opinionated bully who ignores the heart of the mission at hand and structures all of his questions and the snippets of footage filmed by sneaking around corners or being right in the way in the middle of an important mission. They all focus exclusively on reinforcing his preconceived notions, and we don't get the turnaround in any way that has any depth, any real meaning. None of it worked, and I was really disappointed. This is a premise that, again, I think could have been fantastic and could have made this one of the best episodes of the series if done right, but sadly, it failed on every front. None of it worked. And even when we do have this introspective moment, this reflection, this acceptance of why he has this biased perspective, it doesn't really give any kind of meaningful resolution that I was hoping for. No part of this functioned in any meaningful capacity. Even the attempt to wrap things up in a positive, hopeful, meaningful light with the bit of narration from number one at the end felt very generic, and it just didn't have the impact it could have had because everything preceding it was so weak and underwhelming and discombobulated. Nothing came together, and this is the most disappointing episode of the show, not just the season, but of the show for me so far, because I love when this premise works, and I feel like Star Trek is set up perfectly to do this, and this one was a real failure for me.